Hey, y'all. Welcome to Feminine Success TV. I am hidden away in my lair today because I'm all kid out. I'm so over kids today. So, to not run into any of them, y'all gonna catch me in the bed today. I hope that y'all are having an amazing week. We are now to Friday, well, Thursday. We have one more day for you to save your spot in the Feminine Success Master Training. We get started on Tuesday. I am super excited to work with what will be my last live cohort of women. I'm so excited to support you all in stepping into 2022 and beyond. Whether you are the person who observes the New Year's in spring like me, and you're like, well, listen, I'm going into hermit mode right now. It's deep into the winter time. I'm about to start planning and putting pieces in place and all of that. Or you're the person who's like, new year, new me, and I'm ready to experience that. I am super excited to support you in making this next year amazing. And tonight, I want to talk about how to quantum leap your life, because one of the things that I find is that I tend to work with a lot of women who are 25 and up, a lot of times 35, 45 and up. But I do have a client who will be popping on tonight who is in that 25 and up category. And I tend to work with a lot of women in that space. And somehow, America has convinced us that after you turn 25 or 30, life just starts going downhill from there. So there's this idea of, well, I don't want to start all over right now, or I've waited too late to step into my dreams or get to my next level in life. And really, it does not have to take long. One thing I will say is that the time is going to pass anyways. You probably see memes that say that all the time. You hear folks saying that all the time, and it's the truth. The time is going to pass anyways. So if you're the person who feels like I've waited too late, or I wish I would have known this years ago, first of all, honor your season. But second, ask yourself, a year from now, if I have been taking consistent, diligent steps every day toward my goal for a year, would I be further along than if I just keep doing what I'm doing? And that's a very important question to ask yourself, because sometimes when we're thinking about the journey, we're thinking about the process, we're thinking about all of the things that we don't have, all of the pieces of the puzzle you may feel like you're missing, the advice, guidance that you may feel you should have gotten sooner in your life. But in truth, the time is going to pass regardless. Your calling is still calling you regardless. And I honestly can say that the women that I work with are just not comfortable not answering their calling. The women that I work with are not comfortable saying, well, I couldn't live out my dreams. I couldn't live out my purpose because A, B, and C was getting in my way. I couldn't do it because I had to work. I couldn't do it because I had to raise my children. I couldn't do it because of whatever. The women that I work with, you are really women who are like me. As a mom of four, as a wife, as a volunteer in my community, as a caretaker to my elders, I still show up for my dreams every day. I show up for my boundaries every day. I show up for self-care, show up for the support that I know I need. And the women that I work with, they are not willing to live a life where they're not living out their calling. They're not willing to live a life where they're being in disobedience to God for years and years on end. They're not willing to continue in that way if they have been living that way. And that's what I love about working with them. So today I am going to talk to you about how to quantum leap your life. And it's a mindset chat. It's a mindset conversation, because mindset is the only thing that really stands between where you are and truly living the life that you desire. Most of the women that I work with have created amazing success in some area of their life. whether that's their career or their relationships or maybe motherhood or a business. They've created some kind of success for themselves, but they know that there is something deeper. They know that there is something more. They know that their full potential has not been realized. And they really are women who are like, if I'm not growing, I'm dying. If I'm not expanding, if I'm not learning, if I'm not evolving, then what am I doing with my life? And so, with that understanding, knowing that as a woman, as a woman with goals for yourself, as a woman with a dream for yourself, it is your duty to show up and answer that calling. No matter what might be going on, no matter what the obstacles may be that are in the way, no matter what the responsibilities may be that are in the way. Because one of the things that we discuss in feminine success, in the master training, and it expands into feminine success school, is that your first responsibility is you. Your first responsibility is making sure that you are using the gifts that you were sent here to unwrap, that you are walking out your purpose, that you are applying the wisdom, the innate wisdom that you have. And so often, because we've been off that path for so long, because you've been out of alignment, living someone else's dream, living someone else's goals and desires for you, you don't know what that wisdom is anymore. You don't know what that dream is anymore. You don't know what that voice is really calling you to do anymore. And we tend to deal with self doubt when we're in that space. When you are out of alignment, it's impossible to quantum leap, because to quantum leap, you have got to be in alignment. We talked the other day about Coral Castle, and the man who built this entire little village out of these huge, heavy stones, and he did it on his own. And he was a very small man. I believe when I read his story, he was about 4'10" or 4'11", and I'm 4'11", so I know how small 4'11" actually is. And he was able to do it because he got in alignment with the magnetic pull of the earth. And so when we think about our own calling, your calling is pulling you. Your gift is trying to make room for you. And that could be in your relationships, that could be in your business, that could be in any area of your life. But if you ignore your intuition, if you ignore your gifts, if you ignore the feminine side of yourself that says, you know what, let's slow down for a minute and just rest. Let's chill for a second and give ourselves some time to think and process what's going on. Let's pause, because too busy hustling, trying to grind, or whatever have you, proving your worth. Sometimes we're even doing this in our home life, constantly trying to prove your worth. That alignment is not going to come, because when we are trying to prove our worth to others, we are aligning with them. When you are trying to prove your worth to others, you are aligning with them. You are not aligning with your gift when you are doing that. Your gift is what aligns you with God. How you're using that gift, how you're tapping into that gift, how you are constantly refining that gift, that is what aligns you with God, because that's what was given to you from God. But so often we spend our lives trying to align ourselves with other people's approval. And the thing about a quantum leap, when you make a quantum leap, you're going to leap over some people. You're going to naturally leave some things and people behind because you move forward so quickly. But when your alignment is about other people, and you are looking to align your goals, your destiny with other people, you can only leap as far as they're willing to leap. You can only leap as far as they're willing to go for themselves. And that's the thing that I want to share with you about how to quantum leap your life. The first thing that you have got to do is stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for permission from other people. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that what you are desiring for yourself makes sense. Stop waiting for them to get it. Stop waiting. Stop waiting for folks to support you to decide that you are going to support you, that you are going to support that dream. Because what you end up doing is betraying yourself on a regular basis. And I know you hear it all the time, but you got to get this right now. You've got to see the full circle of this. You teach people how to treat you. So if you are betraying your goals and dreams, if you are betraying yourself by not supporting yourself in what you believe is the right path for you, how can you expect other people to support you? And that's what you're teaching them. And so it's so important that you look at the success that you've created and really and truly ask yourself, is this what I truly feel called to be doing with my life? I had that moment for myself. I was the woman who prayed for a husband. I prayed for children. I walked through the journey of endometriosis and being told that you won't have children and all of these other things. And gratefully, by the grace of God, I have 4 children now and an amazing husband. However, once I got there, and we were really, my husband and I had very, very traditional views of what marriage should be like, of what home life should be like. And it was nice. I didn't feel suppressed or controlled or anything like that. However, once I actually got what I was praying for, I realized that there was more to the story. I realized that that was not it for me. But of course, when you have gotten what you've prayed for, and maybe other people have seen you pray for it or heard you pray for it, and you get there and you're like, you know what, this is great. Now let's expand upon this. Now let's multiply this. Now let's add some other things to this because this is not it. You hear a lot of people around you who will say, oh, well, you should just be grateful for what you have. Oh my goodness, well, what more could you want? Oh my goodness, well, why would you do that? Because maybe if you do it, it won't work. Waiting for other people's permission, waiting for it to make sense to other people. And it never did. It still doesn't. What I do still does not make sense to my mother-in-law. It doesn't make sense to the women in my family. It barely makes sense to the men in my family. But it makes sense to me. And it makes sense to the people who work with me. And that's what you've got to know. In order to quantum leap your life, you've got to get out of alignment with people around you who don't get it and get into alignment with the people who have been waiting for you. There are people who are waiting for you to unwrap your gift. Are there other femininity coaches out there now? Yes, there are. However, there are people who will only hear the message this way, who, when they hear it from Feminine Success, it sticks. There are people who will only hear the message that is in your heart from you. If there are 1,000 financial coaches out here, and you're like, well, I know I can be a financial coach and I want to help people grow their money mindset and all these things, but it's so saturated. Guess what? The market will never not be saturated. What you gonna do? Go take a field trip to the bread aisle. Okay? And so stop waiting for permission from others when you are ready to quantum leap your life. Another thing to stop waiting for is closure. When you desire to experience a quantum leap in your life, you have got to stop waiting for closure. I said it. Yes, I did. That means if your ex doesn't want to speak to you anymore, if your mama, you haven't gotten closure in that relationship, your father, stop waiting for closure. Because guess what? Healing is a journey. So often I hear women say, "Oh yeah, well, I'm going through this right now and I know I need to work with you and I know I need to get started, but I'm going through this thing or I'm moving or I've just got a divorce or whatever." And there is this idea that once I am healed, then I will take care of those other things that support my health and well-being. However, healing is a journey. Healing is not an event. Most of us are not really looking to heal. We are looking for a miracle. We are looking for Christ to walk up, touch you in the middle of your forehead, and say, "You've forgiven him now. You're never going to feel the pain of that breakup again," before we can move on. Rather than respecting the fact that it is a process. You're going to see him and want to throw a chair at him. You're going to still feel things in that relationship that didn't work out. You're still going to grieve that job that didn't work out. All of that is still going to be there on the journey as you are leaping, as you are taking your life to that next level. I'll share another personal story about this, because the relationship that I was in before I met my husband was a relationship that I thought was going to lead to marriage. We had talked about marriage, all of the things. When we broke up, I was so angry and felt like I had wasted so much time and all of these things. I was a single mom. I was like, what did I do with my life? I went through months and what turned into a whole year of working through forgiving myself, working through emptying myself of bitterness. But during that time, he was not a part of my cleansing process. He was not a part of my healing process. It was not a, hey, I need to talk to you to get all these things off my chest, and you need to explain to me, and all of the things that we do when we are moving forward from something in our life, something that may be an unexpected move forward. Because sometimes a quantum leap, again, you're going to leap over some people. Sometimes a quantum leap is an unexpected move forward that happens much quicker. You're going much further than you ever planned. And so, as I was going through that process, I was saying, it is time for me to quantum leap from being a girlfriend who is constantly giving the most, doing the most, being the best girlfriend possible, and all of these other things, to being a wife. It's time for me to make that leap. I did not wait for closure to decide. And you don't have to wait for closure to decide. You can move forward and still heal on the way. Okay. And so when I came out of that year of time with myself, growing myself, developing myself, investing in myself, my husband was on the other side of that. And I say that all the time. Yes, he was my friend before that, but we hadn't thought about dating at all, marriage together. I mean, we had individually thought about marriage, but we had not thought about marrying each other. That's for sure. But because I was willing to move forward without the closure, you've got to be willing to make that leap, even if you don't have closure from the last situation. And that's not to say to make a leap when you're still bleeding from the last situation. No, but that is to say that you don't need to do a full on, get a clear understanding of why it didn't work at your job for you to start your business. Why did they lay me off? Listen, because God was calling you somewhere else and you weren't listening. That's why. And so know that you don't need closure from man. You don't need closure from them in order for you to make a move for you. The next thing that I'll share is to make sure that when you are quantum leaping, you are not looking at other people's no as an obstacle. So sometimes when I think about my client Symphony, she may be hopping on tonight. But I think about my client Symphony. We started working together when she was still in college, and now she's grown and all over the world and doing all kinds of amazing things. But we started working together when she was still in college. And at that time, she told me that she wanted to travel as a teacher. She wanted to travel the world and teach young children. And so she started that journey. Then she said, now I really want to bring literacy to my island. She's from the island of St. Thomas. She'd been teaching in Philly for years. She's like, I want to bring literacy to the island. So there was this building that she wanted to, it was a historic building used to open her bookstore. Would be the only bookstore on the island of St. Thomas, will be the only bookstore on the island of St. Thomas. But as much as she has done the work to speak to government officials, get on the Congress floor and really discuss why the island needs that space, they are dragging their feet on it. This did not stop her. This did not stop her. She has now purchased a truck, like a food truck, and is turning it into a book truck, a mobile library. So sometimes when you are trying to quantum leap, the people who may be the quote unquote gatekeepers might not prioritize your leap the way that you are. They might not prioritize your impact the way that you do. But does that stop you? Is the question. And so often, because we've been raised in this kind of masculine society that says if someone tells you no, then you just go fight it and fight, and all of these other things, we get that no. And instead of leaping still, we expend energy trying to turn that no into a yes. When you hold the key to your own yes, turn that story around for yourself. Find another creative solution. A book truck was like not what she was thinking at first, but literacy. How can I make literacy accessible? What's more accessible than like the ice cream truck, right? So don't let no be your obstacle when you are ready to quantum leap. I know that they say follow the path of least resistance, but when the path of least resistance is doing absolutely nothing and setting your dreams on the back burner, that is not the path of least resistance. That is the path of fear. Okay. And it's important that you're mindful of that you are aware. When something is presented to you as an opportunity, when a calling is on your heart, someone telling you no is not for you. That is a gift to you because what they've told you is they don't have the capacity to give you a yes. But you don't stop because of that. And so often when we hear feminine woman, when we hear those words, we think or have been conditioned to think that it means to be docile and to roll over when someone tells you no, when someone tries to get in your way. Absolutely not. The feminine is water. And one thing about water, I don't care how big the rock is, water is going to find a way around that rock or through that rock. Be like water, ladies. Be like water. So, Afudza says, say that, yeah. There are people who will only hear the message from you. Absolutely. And I'm a living witness to that. I'm definitely a living witness to that. There are people who I can only hear the message from. I work with a coach. I hear her same message from tons of people. She teaches you how to package, position, price, and find buyers. But I get the message when it's coming from her. And so know that there's always room for you. Your gift will make room for you. But are you stepping into that gift? Or are you trying to make that gift make room for you in places that you should have been leapt out of? It's been time for you to quantum leap for a while now. Okay. So If that is support that you are looking for, if you're like, I know it's time for me to quantum leap, and I've been knowing that it's time for me to take this leap, but I need steps, I need strategy, I need support, I need a different approach to doing this because I don't want to leap and lose myself. I don't want to leap and lose my family. I don't want to leap and lose my relationship. Then the Feminine Success Masterclass is the best place for you. So, what it is, in case you haven't heard yet, is a 5-day live coaching experience. You get on demand trainings that walk you through thought life systems for yourself, really rebuilding that relationship within yourself, understanding your feminine gifts, understanding who you are as a woman, who you desire to be as a woman, and how femininity really fits there for you as a powerful piece of your personality, first of all, but also as your strategy for success. Then we go into home life, helping you to really get the pieces in place in your home, get the players on the board in your home so that everyone is on the same page. And throughout, the common through thread of the Feminine Success Master Training is relationships. Your relationship with yourself, your relationships with others, your relationship to money, your relationship to work, your relationship to your family members, your spouse, your friends. The whole goal is to help you be the kind of woman who is able to relate powerfully with the world, who is able to influence your world and use your feminine power of influence to change your world. So if that's support that you've been very serious about looking for, you've been looking to invest in the right place when it comes to that, I know the online streets are wild when it comes to coaches and investing and things like that. When you click my link, boxtoblueprint.com, I'll actually post it here in the comments for you. And Afudza, you're on YouTube. Can you also post the link over on YouTube? When you go to this link, you will see other people's experience. That's really, really important. If you are vetting support online, if you are vetting someone to help you with a quantum leap, if you are vetting any kind of support for your life, whether these are people you're bringing into your home, because going from being Susie Homemaker to being a steward of your household who has a staff that you're able to manage is a quantum leap. Okay, so if you are vetting, you want to make sure that you're looking for results, the results that those people have gotten. Have they actually helped and supported others with creating those results? When you go to boxtoblueprint.com, you will see other women's testimonials. You'll see what they have had to say and how they have experienced the master training. Tomorrow is the last day to save your spot, y'all. Tomorrow is the last day. Okay. There's no plainer way for me to say it. Tomorrow is the last day. This is our last cohort of 2021. And this is the last one that I'll be coaching live, period. So if you've been wanting this, if you've been saying, I know I need to work with you, yeah, now's the time. All right. So with that, I hope this has supported you with the mindset that you need in place to be able to quantum leap your life. What I said very quickly, stop waiting for permission. You have got to stop waiting for permission if what you truly desire is to quantum leap. The second is to stop waiting for closure. Stop waiting for closure. Healing is a journey. It is not an event. There will never be a point where you're like, you know what? I'm healed enough. Now I can leap. Don't do that to yourself, because that could be decades. All right. And it is the journey that supports the healing. If you think about when an athlete is injured, it's not sitting down and waiting for the injury to heal itself. It is the therapy that helps them to heal their bodies. So it is the actual work that you put in, not the event of closure or the event of forgiveness or the event of whatever it is, but it's actually doing the work and going on the journey. The third thing is to not let no be your obstacle. When you are ready to quantum leap, nobody's no matters but yours. Nobody else's no matter but yours. And this is the example that my coach uses all the time that I really, really love. If you were ready to lose 20 pounds, would you let someone telling you, no, I don't think you should lose weight, stop you from losing weight? Really? Really? So you're going to put your health in the hands of some random. So think about that with your goals, with your dream, with the next level of your life. When I was ready to marry my husband, my grandma was like, women in our family don't need no men. We raise our kids, we do our thing. And while that was a no, that was a disapproval, that no was not mine. So when I say your dreams and your goals, a lot of times you think, well, I don't want to build a business, or I don't want to whatever. It's not always the financial goals that people don't get. I've had clients who've come to me and been like, yeah, I told my sister that I invested in a coach, and she was like, why would you do that? Why? You could just call me. You can just, there will always be people who disapprove of the moves that you make. Okay. So you cannot let someone else's no be your obstacle when you are ready to quantum leap. You have to leap right on over that no. Okay. And so the last thing that I'll share is to get the right kind of support around you. Get the right kind of support around you. When you are looking for support to make a big leap in your life or make a big shift in your life, you want to make sure that that person has results. You want to make sure that that person has done the work themselves. That's so important. I wish y'all would stop wasting money trying to leap into a marriage with dating coaches who don't have a husband. I just do, for real. And that's not shading them. That's actually calling you to the carpet. How are you vetting people? Is it just charisma? Is it just, oh girl, your hair is laid? Is it just, oh, I love how she do her makeup? Or is it, this person can actually help me get the results that I'm looking for in my life? Because a lot of folks are out here, and this is not about the coaches, this is about the folks out here pretending to invest. A lot of folks are out here making small investments so that they can make small changes, so that they can say, you know what, I did invest that one time, but it really didn't work. That's why I said I work with women who are committed to showing up, who are committed to saying yes to themselves, who are like, there is no way that I'm going to stay in the same place year after year. There is no way that God going to catch me out here being disobedient and not answering my calling. Absolutely not. And I love working with women like that. I love working with women like that because you are looking for bigger results. You are looking for something that goes deeper. You're not looking for something that you can YouTube or Google. And that's not what I got over here. I don't have any coaching that you can go find on YouTube. You can certainly find out how to apply your lipstick and all of those different things on YouTube, but and I'll even share that on my YouTube channel, but I'm not going to share that in coaching because that's not what you're paying me for. You're investing for transformation. Okay. So those are my tips. If you are ready to quantum leap your life, know that any leap that you take in life is about your mindset. It's about your mindset first. How are you thinking about it? How are you thinking about the part of getting the support that you need? How are you thinking about your vulnerabilities? How are you thinking about the process is what will really move you forward. So I hope that this has supported you and given you what you need tonight. Again, if you are ready to join me in the next master training cohort that starts on Tuesday night, click the Box to Blueprint link in the comments. Afudza, please post the link in the comments over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here tonight, y'all. Box2blueprint.com. And with that, I'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.